Hi, I'm Annie Botticelli, and welcome to my May 2019 horoscope report for you, where I will give you the need-to-knows for your sign, plus talk about the general transits that no doubt will be affecting you. I'll let you know the places where the stars are in beautiful harmony and the possibilities that are open from those connections, as well as the places where the stars are in conflict and the challenges that could come from those connections. And resources, ideas, tips on how to use that energy and understand the energy to create alchemy in your life and have the most graceful and productive month possible. Definitely go to my website, anniehelpsyou.com, where I have lots of resources for you on your journey, including a very extensive astrology blog. You can see my new moon and full moon blogs that can help you make the most of those portals of energy that open every couple of weeks. You can sign up for a live reading at my site, and you can also sign up for my astrology apprenticeship program if you resonate with how I teach astrology and you would love to learn. Check out my new book, Radical Prayer, Transform Your Life and the World in 28 Days, which is an Amazon bestseller. You can see that on Amazon or at radicalprayerbook.com. So let's see what the stars have for you this month. Hello, Aries friends. I'm so excited to share with you my insights for May, for you, for me, for us, because I have Aries rising. So when I read your charts, I'm also reading my own. I know these placements really well. So we've got a very exciting, continuous Aries fest that has been in effect for months. I mean, we're talking about May here. In March, the Aries Fest began. April, it was in full bore. May, we still have personal planets lingering in Aries for the first part of the month. So much fuel to our fire. By now, most of the planets, if not all, and definitely into the month a little bit, for all of you early, middle, and late degree placements, the personal planets will be out of the 12th house. That's the place where you're warring with yourself, fighting internally that could be causing fights externally, and kind of getting all of your energy rallied around your movement forward. The awkward space of retrogrades and post-retrograde post-transit retrograde shadow periods and all that is not a comfortable place for Aries energies to be. We really like action, and we like clear stars for action. And although there are some road bumps, which I will talk about in the general transit that follows this report, in general, there is so much that's conducive to what we're trying to do. Our energy in the career sector is continuing to expand radically. Okay, so we have this perfect storm coming together. I want to just piece these things together for you. So career work out in the world, our place out in the world, has really been a focus for a long term and a short term in the 10th house. So that's career and work and your place, like what you're doing out in the world. For those people who are not, who are retired or who, don't need to work, you're just the thing, like your dharma, what you're supposed to do, just showing up with bringing what you've come with, is really just having constant focus and expansion and questions. So we've got that piece. Then we have the fears that and challenges that have come in the recent months. And man, March was a righteous beast for so many people. I know, I've been hearing about it like crazy, and I've experienced it myself. And all of this energy for Aries has been clustered in the 12th house of fear and of addictive patterns and of genetic memory and of just limiting beliefs. So we have work things wanting to expand, our place out in the world wanting to expand, us pushing through fears. And now there's this time for rebirth. There's this huge crowding of energy in the first house, which is all about your physical body, honoring your physical body, paying attention to your physical body, being careful with your physical body, having a new relationship, building a new relationship with it. Also having to do with your image, what you're presenting yourself as, and what you see yourself as. A lot of times people will see themselves as one thing, but their career or their work, or other people see them as another thing. And so you fine-tuning what you want to bring out into the world and how you want to be known. That's a huge piece right now. Your physical appearance, hair, anything having to do with your body, your clothing, how you walk in the world. All of this stuff is really brought into focus, and it part has to do with the short-term transits, but it part has to do with this overall long-term story of like what we're doing here. What are we doing, and how are we going to do it, and how can we do it better? Mars has brought amazing energy, fuel to Aries fire for a few months, and now still at the beginning of May, that is happening. So we've got A lot of the Aries placements still are going to be kissed by Mercury and Venus. We have a lot of the Aries placements still are going to be kissed by Mars and Gemini. And even if that has happened for you already in April, the energies of the planets moving through those signs is still going to kiss every Aries placement. So we have just this amazing focus. So now where's the clincher? What do we need to do? And where can we get the most amazing results when we apply our focus into this place? This has to do with delegating. Okay, so Aries energy is a superhero energy, just straight up. We just see a problem, we take care of it, we just go do it. But what do? We're action oriented. And although we don't like to admit this, we are limited with what we can actually do. Very individual and very, visionary, trying to do the things that you see. You see it and then you go for it. But what happens is that you can't do everything yourself. And that's the huge message of this time, is that if you can delegate, and really Aries people are really good at telling other people what to do anyway, right? But most of the time, the impatience comes in. Like I can remember so many things that I've learned just so that I didn't have to wait for someone else to do it. Like I wanted a sink put in when I used to refurbish houses. For 10 years, I had a business where I refurbished houses and I was a landlord. And so I would want something done in the house, and sometimes it's hard to get people out. So I'm like, I guess I have to learn to put a sink in now. I guess I have to learn to tile now. I guess that, and that's how Aries people are. So, but that way of being over time wears on a person, and it doesn't allow you to do the things that only you can do. This is the theme, the big theme. You want to have your mission be, this is your mission if you choose to accept it. Do only the things that only you can do, unless there are other things that bring you joy and you like to. But if you can delegate and you can get a support team and you can, farm out the things that you just really don't need to be doing, that you get impatient and you take care of it, and that you say, well, in the time it would take me to train somebody or to find somebody, I could just do it myself. That mentality is going to set you back. It's going to hold you back. It's going to not allow you to rise into the position that you're supposed to be rising into. So if you can make a list of, and actually you can make 3 lists. This is your homework if you want to take it, okay? The first list is the list of only the things that only you can do, okay? Then you can make a list of things that other people could do for you, and you might have to work a little bit because you're going to have it in your mind that only you can do everything. It'll take a little adjustment. Then you can have the list of what you want Spirit to do for you, and you can take from your list of only things only you can do, so that you're starting to spread out the energy. Oh, gosh, it feels good, right? Balance out the energy. Just like take some things off your plate so that you can enjoy your life more, so that you can show up for your destiny in a greater way. Okay, so that's your homework, that's your task, and if you apply focus to delegating and doing only the things that only you can do, you will see amazing results this month and forever. All right, so now I want to show you just a quick popping in of the charts to show you some of the things I talked about, so you have the visual, and just another couple of pieces here that I see, and then we'll go on to, you'll see me back on the screen, and we'll talk about the transits and certain days to look out for and other things that you definitely need to know. Okay, so just a reminder here, basically our March born, you're the early Aries, or 0 to 9 degrees. This also applies if you're watching for your moon or rising sign. Middle degree Aries around April 1st through 10th, or 10 to 19 degrees. I'm in there with you all, middle Aries. And late degree Aries is around our April 11th through the rest of the sign, or 20 to 29 degrees. These dates will shift a little bit depending on the day that the sun went into Aries in the year you were born. So these aren't exact, but they are close enough to help you use this energy. Use this information. Okay. So the first thing I want to point out is that you can see this crossing over of these personal planets into the first house from the 12th house. So early degree placements, you're pretty much in the clear. Your middle degree placements, this Venus movement is imminent. So that will be there. And then there's a little bit longer into May for the late degree placements before these guys get over here. And then this first house is this rebirth and, like all of the fears and anxiety and challenges and heaviness of this 12th house focus that we've had that's been such a beast, the full power of the lessons that we've learned and the alchemy that we've created from the lead that has come into our lives in this time, and gosh, help us, it has been heavy. It's been really heavy. All of that full power is getting put into this first house, which has to do with this revamping of your vision of yourself and how you're putting yourself out in the world, and your physical body and your clothing and your, just everything having to do with your appearance and how you're carrying yourself. And of course, there's this direct tie-in to the energy of the 10th house, which is continuing to be full in a long-term way, you can see there. And then, so for early, middle, and late degree placements, Pluto, Saturn transiting South Node, all of that carries heavy karma. But with the heavy karma that we've been working out as far as our place out in the world, being afraid to be seen, a lot of typical, like witch burning energy, like, hey, I remember the last time I really brought my energy, I was burned at the stake, so I'm not going to do that again, right? So a lot of that kind of stuff going on, just clearing up that karma so that you can put your energy fully into what you came here to do. And the key to that is by doing the things that only you can do. Try to just do only what only you can do. And that's going to help you to really have amazing results with everything. There's energy of Mars still pushing through the second house for just a little bit longer for late degree Aries. So that's like focusing on money matters. Early and middle, you've got Mars now in the third house. So this, you'll really actually be here very soon into May, late degree placements. So we'll just speak about Mars in the third house for all of you. The third house and Mars makes people super stir crazy and restless. So if you don't have trips planned for May, you're going to go bonkers. And if you're not going anywhere in May, definitely want to be planning a trip or something, or some kind of titanic feat, or plotting something, or doing a launch, or having a communication frenzy, or making headway or something, because this Mars in this area really was going to make you restless, very, very restless. You need to get things done. And it will bring a lot of busyness with it, just out from outside of you anyway, running around, locally running around everywhere. Crazy busy. Lots of opportunities. As Mars moves into Cancer, that's going to tone it down a little bit. That energy doesn't flow as well for Aries. So get done what you can while that energy is super supportive. Okay, we talked about Venus and Mercury still having more time in Aries. So from 12 degrees through the rest of the sign, or basically middle and late degree placements, Venus is still going to give you kisses on your Aries placements. So harmony, money, self-esteem. Mercury is going to come for you late degree placements and give you all kisses, communication, inspiration, information. The rest of you that aren't having this happen in May, it happened for you in April, and I do post these early, so you do have these kisses coming for you. Nobody will be left out of this. Well, that's exciting. While Taurus energy doesn't flow as well with Aries energy, it's still something that I love for Aries energy because it's a wonderful grounding cord. So, you can get more focused, like I was talking about, you can get disciplined, you can get some systems together and take a little time now to train some people or take on some people or get some people involved to help you with things. And then that will set you up for more freedom and flow later. Jupiter continuing to move through Sagittarius is amazing for Aries. We love it. Jupiter is now in retrograde, but it's still boosting everything for Aries and really accentuating travel, speaking, teaching, learning, international business, publishing, writing projects. So you might find some advancement in those areas as well, plus spiritual insights and working with either a church or an organization that has similar beliefs that you have. Okay, so these are the things most on my mind for Aries this month. Now let's talk about some general transits that you will definitely be feeling. I'll give you some dates, and I'll also give you some information to help guide you through this month with some other need to knows. So I'm calling the theme of May 2019 for all signs, conquer the obstacles and gain the rewards, because this month we've got all kinds of obstacles, but there's actually more sweet energy than there are challenging energies. And there are going to be things to get through, but you have a lot on your side for getting past them with flying colors. The factors that flip the switch towards action in April are still at play very much this month in May. So we have the first month in a long time without having a personal planet retrograde, either shadow period or the actual retrograde, as part of the equation. So in April, even though Mercury was not retrograde, the whole first half of April, the post-shadow period from Mercury was still in effect. Now here in May, we don't have Mercury, Venus, Mars, the personal planets at all retrograde, nor do we have any of their shadow periods for the transit. So we don't have that to impede progress. At the same time, there are multiple placements in very grounded Taurus, and Jupiter is still retrograde, and Saturn is now going retrograde, and all of these factors can serve to balance ambitions, adding more of a streamlined approach. So you'll hear me talking about this theme for a while because there are multiple factors in the stars that are really telling us to get super efficient with our energy. So you'll have more opportunities this month to really get stuff done, but at the same time, there are challenges to overcome, and there is this sort of reevaluation of the things that you've brought out and checking in and strengthening to see what you need for future expansion. There are many great aspects in Gemini or with Mercury, which rules Gemini this month. So that's going to bring lots of communication, lots of movement, lots of busyness, brilliant social opportunities. We'll have advancement of writing and other creative projects, anything having to do with travel, upgrading communication devices and modes of transportation. All of those things are in the Mercury Gemini domain. So expect a lot of focus in those areas of life. And there are a lot of beautiful aspects that can help boost those efforts. At the same time, there are also a number of clashes with the energy. I'd say more good effects than challenging ones, but we still have to look out for them, and you still will have to overcome them. So there could be some mini slowdowns or drama that come from those challenges. As with April, in May, there's also a hurriedness that goes along with a lot of these energies, and that is could lend itself to unnecessary injuries or accidents or wasting time or just not paying attention to things that can come from that distractedness. So definitely be extra aware and breathe and try to stay centered as you move your body and as you're communicating and as you're carrying through all of these things that want to come through this month. So Jupiter is still in retrograde, and this is one of the factors I referred to earlier. It's asking us to pull in a little bit and to carefully evaluate these next steps. So we want to conserve energy while making the most impact. And Jupiter was on an expansion spree for a while, and things are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then as it's been in retrograde, now it's a time to shore up the foundation for the future expansion. So the theme of creating systems that fix situations where you were spread too thin is going to continue this month. And also, as with April, the energy of fewer brilliantly placed efforts rather than a whole bunch of haphazard efforts, the best that you can. Now, it's not going to be super easy to do that in some ways because we do have a lot of energy in Aries, we do have a lot of energy in Gemini, besides that grounded Taurus, which does kind of the glue that helps it all hold together. But it will be busy, it will be scattered, and there will be a lot going on. In general, there are a ton of awesome transits this month. And like I said, more sweet days than challenging ones, but for the beginning of the month and the end of the month especially, like everything away from just like the exact middle of the month pretty much, every time there's a sweet aspect, there's a super challenging one, and a lot of times the same exact day, and it's just kind of crazy. So that means that there will be obstacles to get through to gain the rewards, which is why I call the theme of the month that, expect some challenges. It's not going to be like you just walk up to the gates of the place that you're trying to go and you just walk in, It always reminds me of Paperboy, that game Paperboy, when like the guy's just trying to deliver his newspapers and there's like crazy people and dogs and stuff just like trying to get in his way, right? That's what life feels like sometimes. But you can maneuver around it and get the papers delivered this month for sure. But it's going to take work to get to your goals and consistency. So there's a beautiful flow of sweet transits between May 11th and May 18th. There are some challenging ones around the 11th and there are some challenging ones around the 18th. But all the time in between there, like right in the mid-month, is just sweet aspects, so many sweet aspects every day. So if you have to do something important and you need to have oomph without antagonism, your best time of the month to launch and try to push things through is the middle of the month, because that will be where you don't have this contradictory force at every moment like there is for the rest of the month. Okay, so if you want more details about what aspects are happening on what days and what can go along with that, definitely sign up for my free email newsletter, AnnieHelpsYou.com. And when you sign up for my free email newsletter, you also get, as a wonderful free gift, my entire 28-day virtual coaching package for free. So that will keep you on the list where you'll get these monthly write-ups a month ahead, where I give you the details and the overview of the month so you can see the days that have challenges and what you're working with there and the ones that are sweets if you're trying to plan ahead of time, as many people are. I'm going to hit just a couple of highlights, and then you can see the rest of the details at AnnieHelpsYou.com when you sign up for my free newsletter. Okay, so in the beginning of the month, the first couple of days, we've got sweet aspects and challenging ones just right next to each other. We've got the new moon on May 4th. That's the new moon in Taurus, so definitely make your new moon wishes, and you can see my blog about that for more details. If you just search for Making Powerful New Moon in Taurus Wishes, Annie, you will find it. But this has a beautiful aspect with Neptune on that day, so I expect some sweetness there sandwiched in between some of the challenges. Look out for overexertion and overcommitment in those days, like right there at the end of the week. Definitely take full advantage of those days between May 11th and May 18th for anything important, big steps, commitments, signing paperwork, launching things. They're just like so many beautiful things. I also love travel at that time. And really this whole month is amazing for travel. You just have to be really careful as you're doing it, and aware. Careful and awareful is what I say. Okay, let's see. There was one other thing I wanted to point out here. The full moon on May 18th. The full moon is at 27 degrees of Scorpio, and that also has a conjunction with Venus and Uranus. So this is really important. So let's just take this piece by piece. We've had multiple months in a row where we've had full moons that are centered around relationships, okay? Because we had 2 Libra full moons in a row, and now we have a Scorpio full moon. And the Libra and Scorpio are these relationship houses. So there may be some major drama at this time, or there could be wonderful breakthroughs within relationships or of any kind, or things coming to be revealed that were hidden before, or just sweet moments, a culmination of something sweet within a relationship. Of any kind. So fullness, drama, completion, breakthroughs, things like that in the areas of Scorpio. But the wild card here is this energy of Venus and Uranus, because whenever Uranus is involved, it's like things out of the blue, surprises, jostling, and it could be better for better or worse, So Venus rules love and money and self-esteem. So Uranus coming in here often can mean like conflict or fight or something surprise within a relationship that is a challenge. But sometimes it's like a marriage, proposal or something that comes out of the blue, and that's a culmination of this, relationship energy. So it could really be something sweet like that, but we just never know when Uranus is involved. So expect intensity. I always, we all have to live our lives and we have to work and do what we have to do, but if you can leave the full moon a little bit open so that if some challenges come up and you can be present for them, then you might be grateful for that. So try to be well rested. That's the other thing that I recommend when Uranus is involved, because if something comes out of the blue and you have to deal with it, at least if you're well rested and calm going into it, it will be easier for you to handle it in the most graceful way. In general, since the energy of Venus and Uranus are both in Taurus, this is, earth energy. This is like ground breaking, ground shaking energy. And sometimes it can be quite literally. Uranus in Taurus has already been very much associated with the waking up of the volcanoes over the last year. And, the other earth changes that come from that and earth effects that come from that, wild weather and things like that, that are related to the earth and the atmosphere. So, just kind of be aware at those times that there's more energy and more power, and just follow your intuition as far as where you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to be doing. Okay. So those are the things that are most on my mind for this month. Definitely go to AnnieHelpsYou.com, sign up for my free email newsletter, get my Shine 28-day virtual coaching program for free, get these written version of these general reports in your inbox a month early. You can sign up for a live reading there. You can see more about my vocational courses that I have, including my astrology apprenticeship program, where I can teach you how to use astrology for your personal or professional purposes. And I have lots of other things on my website, like subliminal audios that help you to train your brain in the direction of things that you want. So you can see all that at AnnieHelpsYou.com. Definitely check out my book, Radical Prayer, Transform Your Life in the World in 28 Days. If you are interested if you're a spiritual seeker and you want to align your energies with that of the divine and have the most easy, graceful life possible, this is your little friend. I made it in a nice portable size. It's a beautiful book on the inside and out for you to take with you and use the power of affirmation and prayer to transform your life and the world in positive ways. So you can see that at radicalprayerbook.com. It's an Amazon bestseller. You can go to my husband's website, iamhelios.com, iamhelios.com. He's got all kinds of goodies there. He does astrology readings and tarot readings. And if you'd like written horoscopes by me, plus other lifestyle blogs for natural living, you can go to cozybysweetstarlight.com and see my written horoscopes for you for each sign a month early each month. So I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.